Hi, I'm John Palmer, and thanks for tuning in to Cboe Digital TV, where we talk about all things digital assets, regulation, and cryptocurrencies. I'm joined here today with Ben Weiss from Coinflip. Ben, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me. It's great to be with you.
Awesome. Well, Ben, before we jump into some specific questions, I'd love if you can give me just a quick overview of yourself and Coinflip and how you started the company.
I'm Ben Weiss, obviously. I'm the CEO of Coinflip, and we started Coinflip over 7 years ago now because we saw how difficult it was for the average person to purchase cryptocurrency. And we wanted to make it as easy and accessible as possible. And we started with these Bitcoin ATMs because it takes crypto out of the cloud and it makes it physical, it makes it tangible. And in the last 7 years, we've now grown the company to over 7,000 locations globally. We've also launched digital products as well, such as our OTC desk, and we're continuing to grow. Crains named us the fastest growing company 2 years in a row in Chicago now.
Yeah, and that's fantastic. Thanks for that. And congrats on the Crains Business, fastest growing company. Obviously, a tremendous amount of work you and the team have put into growing the business the way you've had. Talk to me a little bit more about how you've grown both on the ATM side of the business, but also you mentioned the OTC desk, and if you want to jump into why you saw that need and how you kind of started that, I think that'd be really interesting.
We wanted to be there for our customers on their journey into cryptocurrency and into blockchain. And the ATMs are our heritage. They're in grocery stores, convenience stores. People see them every day in our neighborhood. But we wanted to continue to be at the forefront of the consumerization of crypto. And to do that, we had to offer multiple options to our consumers. Same 24/7 customer support, same white glove service, but we launched our OTC desk. We also have a really cool product, a financial services platform called Olive. That is going to be coming out in the next couple months, and there's a wait list to try that. It's join.olive.com, and I'm super pumped about Olive. It's the next iteration of Coinflip, and it's the place for all of people's financial services related to cryptocurrency. And there's even a chance to win a free Bitcoin when you sign up for the wait list.
That's fantastic. Well, I'll definitely have to make sure to go on and join myself for that free Bitcoin. But congrats on the launch of Olive. I saw that on Twitter a couple of weeks ago. Can you dive into a little bit more of the demand that you saw that kind of drove your thought process behind Olive, and where you see kind of your company and Coinflip going in the future?
With crypto, I think that ease of use, trust, safety, and then just sort of this feeling of making it for the everyday person, that was sort of the thing behind Olive. We wanted a crypto solution that was easy and as accessible for people to use. And I think a lot of the early adopters with crypto, they've already gotten in to crypto. So now to get this next generation of the crypto curious in, you have to offer innovative products, and they have to be more than just for the crypto bro. So that's what we're trying to do with Olive.
No, that's fantastic, and I think it's really important. You touched a couple of the same tenets that Cboe Digital kind of founded our exchange on, and some of those things are trustworthy, transparent kind of markets. Talk to me a little bit about how you've seen that evolution with your customers and how regulation has kind of played into your thought process.
Mm-hmm. So since day one, Coinflip has always been registered and licensed money service business, and we believe that regulation is actually good for the industry. In fact, a lot of consumers having a regulated product, and especially with a company based in the US, I think that's important as well. But having that regulation gives consumers that safety and that security. And I think we're going to continue to see regulation, especially in the US with that FTX situation. I think that'll speed things up. And I think another trend we're seeing as well is we're seeing a sort of more global and unified approach to regulation as well. I know in the European Union, they have MiCA that's coming into effect in 2024. And that has a standardized framework for all the countries in the EU. So we're seeing, I think, we're going to see more regulation. We're going to see a more unified and global approach to regulation. And it's important that we do it in a way that protects consumers, but also encourages innovation. And Coinflip continues to talk to leaders in Congress and regulators to make sure that we get to a great solution for everyone.
No, it's perfect. And I think you nailed it in terms of the way Cboe Digital thinks about it too. And what we're hearing from our customers, that constant kind of protection of customer assets and the growth of regulation in terms of driving demand,
Exactly.
I think is really important. And you kind of touched upon also the global framework. So diving into that a little bit, how do you see demand US versus maybe offshore look like for you, and where do you see pockets of growth or regions of growth where you're looking to expand?
I think the most interesting thing about crypto, I mean, everyone talks about the price, but the utility in the actual use cases are incredibly important. And I think in the US, while there's a lot of utility for crypto, we still see a lot of investments. I think when you get to Latin America, when you get to Africa, you see more utility, whether it's stable coins for remittances, micro lending. I think the idea of securitizing assets on the blockchain, even certain liquid assets, is super powerful as well. And one region that I think is a sleeper region is Africa, because in Africa, they're actually more advanced in payments technology than the US, and they've skipped a whole generation of payments tech, and they're used to using their phone as their bank account already. So I think Africa is very interesting. I think Latin America is very interesting. And I think in 2023, that one of the trends we're going to see is crypto as a utility.
No, that's fantastic. And I think you bring up a lot of good points on the utility of crypto. And I think as we see a lot of the headlines, you mentioned FTX and the collapse of that, I think the industry or even folks that are reading the headlines lose sight that, yeah, cryptocurrency is a tradable product, but there's a utility behind a lot of it.
Yeah, you have to separate the technology from the prices sometimes.
Right, 100%. Outside of Bitcoin or maybe some of the other large tokens, you talk about the utility. What are your opinions or your thoughts on the additional tokens that are out there that are popular, whether they're layer ones or layer twos in the utilities that they bring to the industry? Do you have any thoughts there? Anything you're watching or keeping your eye on?
Not gonna get into specific coins, but I would say the two areas, stable coins. I think stable coins have tremendous promise and are gonna be, if you already look at stable coin usage in Latin America, that's been up a ton. And I think remittance and cross-border payments, like try sending an international wire, whether you're a business or a person, it's incredibly difficult. So I love the idea of stable coins for settlement. And I also love the idea of tokenizing securities. And there's so many things that are illiquid assets out there that I think can be tokenized on the blockchain and can actually allow people to participate in the financial system in a more fair and equitable way. So I would say stable coins and the tokenizing of assets are two areas. So any coins or blockchains or solutions that deal in those two areas, I'm keeping an eye out on.
No, 100%. I think you nailed it. We talk a lot about that. I'm also watching DeFi and seeing how that changes the landscape and how customers, whether it's self-custody or centralized custody, are also some things that I think at Cboe Digital we keep our eye on, and in terms of the evolution of kind of crypto assets or digital assets. And so
do you see opportunities for improving settlement with trading and things like that with blockchain?
Yeah, and I think we do. And I think that probably is what drove me into crypto to begin with, was how do you leverage the underlying technology to kind of improve maybe, the existing financial marketplaces, whether it's clearing and settlement or trading. So obviously settlement used to be T+3, T+2, now it's T+1 in equities, right? And so I think
getting a little better each year.
Every year it's getting a little bit better, but how does blockchain solve it? I think is really intriguing. We have a long way to go before we get there, but I think it's at the start of something that could revolutionize the way maybe modern financial markets work.
Because theoretically, there's no reason why we can't get to instant settlement.
100%. I think you nailed it with like the velocity of money. You talk about wiring money from the U.S. to an international jurisdiction. It can take a long time, and so how does a stable coin or how does a blockchain kind of increase or make that more instantaneous, I think is really critical. And then how do you apply that to other pieces of the marketplace? So we're clearly watching that. I know it seems like you're clearly watching it too. So it's really an exciting time to be in digital. The only thing number one, thank you for being on the show. It's been a pleasure to have you. I think the last thing I'd ask you is what do you want to leave with our watchers in terms of Coinflip and what's next for you?
So Olive, we're super excited about that. If you want to join the waitlist for Olive, it's join.olive.com. And I would just say whether you're interested in crypto or you're interested in trading, I think we're seeing this convergence of the traditional financial system and cryptocurrency, and more importantly, to your point, the technology underlying it. So I would just say you might not think that your business is involved in blockchain or crypto, but it probably will be shortly, and there's probably some application there. So I think just people think it's these two separate things, but just sort of thinking, how could blockchain apply to my business? Because I don't think you can talk about digital without talking about blockchain.
Well said. Again, thank you very much for joining us today. It's been a pleasure.
This was fun. Let's do it again.
Awesome. Thanks.